let's go, baby. Start fast. Let's put a stamp on this game. Let's go, start fast. Let's go now. You fired the first shot. Let's go, man.
Welcome in, cocksuckers. This is the first ever episode of On the Ball podcast, brought to you by the Raffy Taffy Fantasy Football Network, the most badass and competitive fantasy league on the planet. Matter of fact, the champion ascends into Valhalla itself to dine with the fantasy gods, while everyone else is dropped onto the waiver wire to wait until next year for their chance at eternal glory. I'm your host, Matt Silvis, and with me, my co-host, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Raffy Mattioli. How you doing,
On the ball, on the ball, on the ball.
Oh man, I am excited about episode 1. This is it.
Matchups this week,
dude. It was nuts. It was great. A lot of really unexpected shit happened.
3 lead changes on Monday Night Football. We had 3 people go from winning their games to losing their games.
That's what's gonna happen when you got 2 Monday night games, though. You know what I mean?
Dude, I love it.
I do too.
I love it. So to start, we want to go over the matchups, I assume.
Yeah.
We got, let's start with tonight. Let's start with Victor taking on Justice. Put up a 200-point game, 197.62 to 121.12.
That's
Vic's
ridiculous.
Vic's roster led by Deshaun Watson and D-Hop tonight. And he put up another 60 on the bench. I don't know if he'll sustain that, but
I don't think so. But the other thing is you have Leonard Fournette, who's going to be heavily favored going forward now that they don't have Nick Foles. So that 10 points, I mean, they're going to be stacking the box for sure, but Fournette's going to wear teams down. So he might lose points elsewhere with D-Hop dropping. He's not going to drop 30 points every week, but Fournette's going to come up.
Man, he's the best receiver in the game.
Curtis Samuel's going to do a lot better, probably average a little bit more points than he got this week. Aaron Jones, the next five weeks, I believe, is going to be pretty rough. But after that, dude, it's so golden. Vic's roster's looking real good.
I don't know. You think Eckler continues with 40 points per game?
No, absolutely. Eckler is going to do 100 points per game. No, absolutely not. I do not think so. And then the Justice team. Before this Monday night game, he had like 50 points, it seemed. He sucked. His team is absolute trash.
It's looking doo-doo.
It is looking doo-doo.
Sony Michel, 1.4 points.
Yeah. Not a lot of upside with any of his players. I mean, Julio Jones, but like Devontae Adams, shit the bed. That's about it. What about next? What's the next matchup?
Next matchup, we got K Nasty versus Jeffy DeMoose.
He hates us.
With Jeffy's team taking the victory tonight, who was playing for him tonight?
Well, you got Ben Roethlisberger, Le'Veon Bell, Chris Carson, Keenan Allen, Galladay, Landry, Ebron, Ingram, and Tyrell Williams.
Tyrell Smoochie Wallace, dude, giving him the victory tonight.
That was clutch because he was down before this Monday night game, and Tyrell with that one clutch touchdown, but 100 yards put him over the edge pretty easily. But that was a risky move. There was a couple players on his team that. Maybe one player on his team I might have played over Tyrell, which would have been Michael Gallup. But I know that's risky because you got a number 2 versus Tyrell being the number 1. But at the end of the day, ended up being a smart move. The only other one would have been Mark Andrews over Ebron. I have zero faith in Ebron all year. The second Luck retired, so I mean that's a move I would have made. It would have been a decisive victory. But end of the day.
For me, I think if Kennard started Cortland Sutton over Tyreek Hill, I don't know what made him start Tyreek Hill over Cortland Sutton, but me personally, I probably would have put Sutton in that spot.
Yeah.
You know, what I always say is Tyreek Hill is no Sammy Watkins. And
you've been saying that since day one.
You know, and with that, I'm going to go ahead and go into the next matchup, me versus Dylan, led by Sammy Watkins with 46.8 points. 9 receptions, almost 200 yards, and 3 tutties. I mean, the Lizard King. Am I right?
Uh, you know, you've literally been saying it for 3 years now that Sammy Watkins is the best receiver in the league.
It's his time to shine.
Is it?
Mm.
I'm looking over this. Your team went absolutely average.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think Aaron
What-
Rodgers playing the best defense in football had something to do with it. Kamara did great things. Everybody except Watkins and Kamara underperformed.
Yeah, but the problem is
But it's not
that-
about being the best. It's about being better than your opponent.
That's true. That's true. Dylan actually had a really solid week, but he had a couple real big duds. On Johnson, my friend. What? I think he only had 50% of the snap counts. I'm sorry. He shared 50% of the runs with CJ. That is not a good sign. I'm not happy with them. I got On in several leagues.
And the biggest dud, was the one I put on his chest at the end of the game.
Move on. What's your next one? Break it down.
Next matchup, we got Lil J08 versus you.
Ooh,
A decisive victory.
This was
And
an
looks
easy
like
one.
your team was led by Carson Wentz. Wow, T.Y. Hilton.
T.Y.
That's pretty good considering, Luck retiring. Brissett didn't look bad. You had David Johnson, who's coming back to form, I hope. I have him in a couple other leagues. And
let me put it this way. T.Y., everyone at that draft party was kind of giving me the look like this dude's an idiot for drafting T.Y. in the 6th, 20 minutes after Luck retired.
Well, the value was there.
T.Y. is a monster. Brissett is probably 20th best quarterback in the league, maybe 25th. But honestly, I barely squeaked when this one out because Mike Evans and Stephon Diggs blew me. They blew my team up. They also blew me, which is the first thing I said.
That's why you tried to trade me, Stephon Diggs.
No, but I mean, kind of. But I probably shouldn't try to trade Diggs right now because he didn't perform well. When Diggs is still going to end up being a pretty solid fantasy option all year. They threw the ball 10 times. So the fact that he has 6 points on 10 total passes, not targets, passes, is actually pretty good. OJ Howard also really fucked me.
Dude, but look at Malcolm Brown, dude. 17.3 points, outscoring Todd Gurley.
Yeah. How many weeks is that going to happen? Probably a lot. I don't know.
11 carries. I think he was kind of. I don't know. We'll see.
I think Todd Gurley had 70% of the snap counts, but they shared the same amount of or similar carries. And Malcolm Brown got all the goal line work. Todd Gurley got 3. I think it was something like 3-4 snaps, while Malcolm Brown
carries to 14 carries.
It was pretty nuts.
70% of the snaps. You're right.
Yeah, Jalen, I just want to let you know that your team, it did the best it could. It's just not good enough, and you should probably just drop all your players and quit.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it out there.
Message out right away.
Yeah, right now, because if we play again, the result's gonna be the same. Yeah, Raph, what's
right.
Next?
Next matchup, the last and final matchup, I believe. That was 4, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Sega J versus Daniel Lee Korst. Come from behind victory for Sega. They did have a side bet, 4 tacos and a cold beer. Sega was down about 16 points with Mr. Josh Jacobs left in his flex. Josh Jacobs came to work today.
Yeah. What do I got to say about this? Honestly, it kind of ties into another segment later on. Dan, he's pretty key when it comes to making good start-sit decisions year in and year out. But this week, maybe he's just brushing off a little rust because he decided to sit Matt Ryan for Jameis Winston. Now, I know all the fantasy experts were key into this. They had Winston. I mean, I had Winston as one of the top DFS picks, but I don't know if I can ever sit Matt Ryan unless you got a quarterback that's like significantly better. Like you have Pat Mahomes or something, and Matt Ryan is your backup. Now he's going to crucify me because we had a side conversation over text about Matt Ryan versus Jameis. I don't remember the verdict of that, but I think I also may have influenced him to play Jameis.
It's the coach's decision in the end. A little bit of advice for Dan: get better, because this league is not very forgiving, and it'll go by quick on you.
You lost to Sega, and that's not a good thing. That's not a good way to start your season.
He lost to the self-proclaimed reigning champ.
Yeah.
Now the league doesn't recognize any previous champions, but that is what Sega is calling himself.
Okay, just to confirm, Dan, I take back everything I said. I know it is I know it is your choice at the end of the day to sit Matt Ryan, but I am looking over our text messages and I said Winston 1000%. So I take back everything I said. I apologize. Don't ever listen to me again, but continue to listen to this podcast.
With that being said, we're going to go up with our matchup of the week. We're both going to pick up a matchup. And with that, we're going to start with Matt.
All right. Matchup of the week for me, probably Jeff and Kaynard. That one came down to
today.
It came down to today. Is incredibly close match. I thought it was actually going to be like maybe a couple point difference, but Tyrell went off today, which was pretty unexpected. We talked about this in pretty big detail. The only thing I would highlight, and I know we don't really want to talk about too much actual fantasy players, but I am a little concerned with the Browns and Nick Chubb. If you look at his schedule, it's going to be pretty tough coming up the next few weeks. He did have a lot of carries, but it just didn't yield into a lot of yards. I don't know if that offense is going to get it together. They just look weird.
And I'll add, for my comment on this matchup that there were so many of us at a draft party that were talking shit about Jeff Spicks, Ingram in a second, Tyrell Williams later in the draft, Le'Veon in the first round. Like I think he picked Le'Veon pick 5 overall,
4 or 5. Yeah.
And like look at the people that went off for Jeff: Le'Veon Bell, Mark Ingram, and Tyrell Williams. Props to Jeff.
Yeah,
he's got conviction.
He called his shots. He went and got his guys in the rounds he felt that they needed to go, and he got them. So the only other thing on that matchup, it kind of leads into our next section, is the first and only trade, I believe. It was between Kaynard and myself, I believe. I traded him. Where is he? Marlon Mack for
Marlon Mack and 30 fab.
Yeah, Marlon Mack for 30 fab for Cooper Kupp. I still think that was a really good trade for both of us, but it really panned out for you this week, my friend.
What did Marlon Mack put up? Wow, 25 points. And he got Tom Brady with that 30 fab who put up another 30 points.
So you're welcome.
Damn. Ed, what did Cooper Kupp put up?
Like for 14.
Oh, man.
Yeah. For roster, no. For roster construction, it was good for both of us, but this week it really helped out. Yeah. Maybe this week we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. So our next segment, we're going to talk about a little bit about the league activity over the past week or so. Who you guys dropped, who you guys picked up. First on my list, I'm trying to not go too far back. Maybe back to like the second or so. You got Dylan dropping Marquise Goodwin for N'Keal Harry. Nothing to really say about that. N'Keal Harry's on IR. Marquise Goodwin to the number 2. He might actually be the number 1.
Is Goodwin? What did Goodwin put? 1.7 points.
Yeah, I mean the whole offense looked like shit, but it's whatever. The next transaction was Albert Wilson being added to Vic's team. He dropped Kalen Ballage. The one after, or I'll comment on these after. But next you have Danny picking up Jameis Winston, dropping Giovanni Bernard. Yeah, and then you got K Nasty dropping Mitch Trubisky. Sorry, ref, and picking up Tom Brady.
You want to sleep on Chubb? Sleep.
You're sleeping on Trubs. Actually, no, you're not sleeping. You went into a coma, and so did he. So what I got is I kind of want to break down my worst and best, or worst and favorite waiver wire move this last week. The best one, in my opinion, was definitely dropping Chubbs, picking up Tom Brady. It did involve the 30 fab I gave him, but it's self-explanatory.
I don't know. They're the same quarterback in my eyes.
Okay, are they? Is Mitch Trubisky the same as Tom Brady?
I'd say Trubbs has the edge, but it's pretty close.
That's a hot take, my friend. The next is actually, I'm going to throw in there the most unfortunate combination of moves. With my advice, Dan picked up Winston, dropped Giovanni Bernard. Then he sat Matt Ryan for Winston, and then Joe Mixon gets hurt, and Giovanni will probably start the next few weeks.
And it kind of cost him the match tonight.
And it definitely cost him the match tonight.
I mean, what was there? The score was, Sega only lost by 6. If he played Matt Ryan, he would have had that in the bag.
Yep. Dan, text me and I will send you $2 for a taco. I feel like I'm partially responsible.
They're actually Cinco Bar tacos. They're like $4 a taco. So
I will donate $2 for a half a taco. What's up?
Matt, I mean, I just think, Dan needs to get his head out of his ass. He talks a big game, and when he puts out duds like that, it just makes me doubt him as a fantasy football coach.
You're right. I probably shouldn't give him too many excuses.
It's just I don't get it. He talks a big game, but
he does. He walks around.
He needs to show it on the field.
He texts me every morning saying that he's the future champ in both of our leagues. Every morning.
I just don't see it.
He actually captions it with the dick pics he sends me on Snapchat, like fantasy football champion or future champion.
And you open those snaps, huh?
Regularly. I don't like getting out of bed without opening it. The worst move of the week. It's not really a big move, but I do think dropping Ballage for Albert Wilson was a bad mistake. There's a probably equal chance that Kenyon Drake's the starter versus Ballage by a year's end. I still like Drake more, but that Miami team is a hot mess. And
they're not going to do anything.
They're not. And Albert Wilson's not going to – he's going to have a less of a part of that offense than either one of those running backs. So, it's not that bad of a move. He'll probably drop Albert Wilson for somebody else.
They're both doo-doo to me.
They are both doo-doo. So there wasn't really too many bad moves. It's just, I had to pick one. So you want to move into next week?
Next week's matchups. We're going to pick our winners for next week. We're going to keep score over time. We're going to see who gets the most right.
Yeah. So basically, we're both going to pick the winner of, or we're going to predict the winner of each week's matchup, and I'm going to write them down. And I don't know what we're betting on yet, but at the end of the season, whoever has the most predictions right,
probably a Uncle U's dinner.
No, not the way you buy Uncle U's. That wasn't expensive.
All right. Well, we'll decide later.
Yeah.
I'm going to start with me going up against Lil J08.
Yeah.
He hung in the survival of the fittest competition, but I'm going to give the W to me.
Okay.
I think who do we got? We got Sammy Watkins at Oakland. He's going to put up at least 60 there. David Montgomery playing Denver. That's another 60. Juju Smith-Schuster. He's questionable. Did they come out with any reports on him?
Yeah, he's fine.
Oh. He's putting up 50.
Yeah, absolutely fine.
Alvin Kamara playing the Rams. Everybody knows how I feel about the Rams. He's going to put up 100.
Okay. And end of the day, Rafi has himself winning. My pick is also Rafi.
Take that, Lil J.
I think both of you guys got a pretty good matchups on a player-to-player basis. But I think Rafi squeezes out by 7 to 57 points. The next matchup, let's just get into it. Me and Sega. Sega's a bitch, so clearly I picked myself. I don't need to get into it. It's one of the easiest matches of the year. The sleeper app is really stupid. It's projecting Sega to win by 2. But at the end of the day, Sega will score 50 points, and I'm going to say I score my projected 136.
I'm gonna have to go with Sega on this one, unfortunately.
My heart.
You got Cam Newton playing Tampa Bay, who doesn't have any sort of defense whatsoever. Barkley's in the game. Josh Jacobs, after tonight's performance, oh my God, I think it's going to eat at Kansas City. Tyler Lockett at Pittsburgh. After that piss poor performance, their defense wasn't doing anything, and I think Joe Hayden's hurt. So he's going to go. Allen Robinson playing Denver. Come on, that's an easy 50 points right there. And his two tight end combo of Kittle and Ertz.
Hey, Raph, are you a Bears fan?
Somewhat.
Okay.
Somewhat. He keg beers. And the next matchup, we're gonna go with Daniel Corse versus Victor.
Yeah.
I think that was two high scoring teams.
Yes.
Man.
You're going Dan?
No, I think I think I gotta go with Vic just because when you put up 200 points week one, I mean, I don't think he's gonna sustain that week after week. No. But I do think that Deshaun Watson and Diop, they're unbelievable. I'm really high on Ingram this year. Aaron Jones is trash. I don't think he's gonna put up anything. But with Tyreek Hill out, I think Mecole Hardman could step into a role and take over that spot.
Well, you know what? No surprise. I have Vic winning as well.
Sorry, Danny.
Yeah, you're going to start off 0-2. You're going to have to crawl your way back. It's unfortunate, but yeah, he'll probably quit. He's a little bitch. But I mean, so is 8 other people in this league. So, what's the next one? You got Justice.
Justice versus Kaynard.
Okay.
Pretty even matchup.
It is.
But Justice's running backs just looked too awful. Philip Lindsay and Sony Michel. I don't even know if Sony Michel, but with Patriots running backs, that's going to be like
I don't even drop them.
He puts up 20.
I refuse to draft Patriots running backs because of that. 1 week they'll put up 1 because they weren't used, not because they were bad. The next week they'll put up 50 just because Belichick likes to fuck everybody. I know Sleeper has K Nasty winning by 2. It's actually a pretty close projected matchup. But I also have Justice pulling this one off. This one was kind of a flip of a coin to me. It came down to a few key matchups of players.
Change mine to Kaynard.
Do you really want me to change it to Kaynard?
Yeah, I'm changing it to Kaynard.
All right.
I'm looking at it. I think Mahomes is going to have a big game.
All right.
Yeah, Chubb against the Jets offense doesn't do much for me. Even Marlon Mack against Tennessee's defense. But
I think for me, it was the fact that he has to replace Tyreek Hill and his bench is pretty fucking weak. That's my big thing. And then you got Antonio Brown coming into that offense in Patriots against Miami, right? So I believe that role or it affects everybody negatively except for Tom Brady and Edelman. But at the same time, they are going to put up a lot of points against Miami. This is not a typical AFC East AFC East matchup, right? AFC East.
Yeah, you think usually it does affect the Pats or you think it does affect Edelman if AB's on the field?
No, I don't think it does. I think Edelman's going to get his targets regardless. He might lose.
I think there's more. I think if they're covering AB, man,
possibly. I think
a slot.
At the end of the day, though, it's every year Miami, has a close game with the Patriots. So once in a while, just like last year, they sneak one out with magical plays. But this year, Miami is truly the epitome of a trash can. They are awful. Patriots are going to go up 30 points in 12 minutes. Maybe 2 drives and 2 defensive touchdowns back to back to back to back, and everyone's going to be pulled. So that's why I don't think Edelman's got a good pick this week. He has no one to replace Tyreek Hill. That's kind of why I'm going with Justice. Your pick is locked in. I made a great argument, but you can't switch now.
All right.
The next one, I think we got the last one. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So is it Victor versus Danny?
It is.
Damn.
No. We just talked about that one. That was that we didn't do Jeff and Dylan.
Jeffy DeMoose and Dylan.
Das
Super
Moose
has Dylan winning 135 to 128. And all right, let's take a look.
It's not even a close projection. Like
it's
not even close.
But I'm gonna have to go with Jeff just because Derek Carr is gonna be playing Kansas City. I expect it to be a high-scoring game.
Oh, you're gonna say he's taking him off the bench and putting him in the start?
After what Big Ben did to Jeff tonight, I think he's not gonna play him against Seattle's D, man. Seattle's D's hungry.
Palmer just not Palmer. What the fuck? The Red Rocket just put up a lot of points on Seattle's D.
Red Rocket.
Dalton.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that Jeff is going to sit him after what he did week 1.
That's fair.
At least give him a chance to prove it. Jeff being a Raiders fan, he's if he went with Carr tonight, he could have won some money in DFS.
That's true. Honestly, I'm surprised you went with Jeff because this was such a heavily favored matchup for Dylan in terms of projected scoring. I'm upset that you went Jeff because that was also my pick as my upset of the week.
Dang.
Yeah.
He's got Michael Gallup on his bench. He had a great game. Did Chris Thompson had a great game? He's got good depth.
The biggest thing is Dylan is already tilting, and I just can't trust a manager who tilts after week 1.
I do that to people.
You do.
This week
their
I'm
head.
to build JO8.
Okay.
It's in my
That's your
blood.
target. That's your target of the week. Official. Lock it in.
Lock it in. Lock it up.
Oh man, Vic, you survived. Welcome to the league, my friend. You survived week 1 of RAF. Get ready to have 16 more, 15 more of those.
We got our picks locked in. We're going up to the week's contest winner, which was Vic with 100. Yep. What did he get? 197.62 points.
That's nuts.
Venmoed him the $25 during that Raiders game. Nobody was catching him. This week we have the biggest loser. Whoever loses with the highest score, you win $25. Pretty easy.
What's your guess on that?
Biggest loser for this matchup. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with D Course on this one. I think he's gonna put up a lot of points, but Vic is gonna end up taking it. He's gonna be screwed by the schedule, and Danny Course is gonna win $25.
Let me look at this. Yeah. Fuck, I'm gonna have to pick something different because we share a lot of the same opinions. I am gonna go with Sega. I'm gonna go with Sega. Not only am I gonna, it's gonna soften the blow a little bit because I'm gonna put up 200 points. Not really, but probably. And Sega will put up 199. I already said he's going to put up 50, but now I want him to win $25. You're tilting me right now with your pick.
Oh, I almost picked you as my biggest loser.
Look, we're not talking about real life. We're talking about fantasy football.
All right. Well, moving on, we got the survival of the fittest. This week, Bo Boy got eliminated. Vic's got immunity for week 2. Lowest points next week. I'm gonna go with Lil J08. I think his team is pathetic. I think I'm gonna dominate him on every position, and I'm gonna send him packing. He was on the bubble this week. He barely beat Bo Boy. This week coming up, I plan to just say, you know what, you're gone too. See you later. Sayonara. Bye-bye.
Sayonara. Let's see. I'm gonna go the opposite of your pick from the winner. The winner of, or what was? I'm sorry, Dan. you said Dan.
Dan's the biggest loser.
Dan was the biggest loser, meaning he's going to score a lot of points, and it's going to be unfortunate. Fuck. I can't even do that one, man. You are really tilting me tonight on these
Dude,
picks.
you pick the same person.
Nah, no. I'm gonna go with Lil J. Or no, is that
I
how you
went
put?
with Lil J.
Then I'm going Korst.
Really?
Yeah.
Course over Boboy or K Nasty?
Yeah, I
All
think
those trash cans?
I think his team's gonna tilt, and it's gonna suck. He's gonna spend more time sending me dick pics, which I appreciate, but not enough time setting his lineup and looking at the waiver wire and trying to make trades. He's gonna be too busy with the other things.
I see where you're coming from. You know,
Yeah.
it's Jameis Winston pickup. But,
Who would do that? Am I right?
dude, time will tell.
All right. So, anything else you want to say, Raph, before we wrap this up?
Nothing. Jalen, get ready for week 2. We're hungry. Next week, Jeff is going to be joining us on the podcast.
I was not aware of this, but okay.
Yeah. We talked about it today. He's in week 2. If you're interested in being on a future episode, reach out and call your league mates out.
If your name is Sega, just know that you should uninstall the Sleeper app. You probably don't want to look at all the notifications throughout next Sunday about me whooping your ass. So just
He's got
install it.
Photoshop. Get ready.
Oh no, I'm afraid of that.
Ready.
All right. Well, that's it. Thanks for tuning in for the first episode of On the Ball podcast with your hosts, Matt and Rafi.
Hey, it's Rafi and Matt. Thanks for listening.
Okay. You ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
I'm fucking ready.
Hell yeah. I've been ready. Born for this. Not really. This is going to be rough.
This is going to be rough.
This is going to be so rough.
Let me do my Okay, I'm ready.